Good morning. I've just had the nicest long shower of my life. Oh, it was so good. Shay's at nursery, and often like if I shower before nursery it's like quick, like the shortest shower ever, but when he goes to nursery and I've got a bit more time, I love to like, you know, take my time, exfoliate, leave a hair mask in for a little while. So I'm feeling really good. I'm on a mission again to get more minimal in my life. If you haven't seen the first video already of the series, then check that out, just all about what minimalism is and why I'm doing it. So today I'm gonna try and do the ground floor of the house, which is basically just one big room. I don't live in a very big house. And I'm gonna try and minimize my kitchen space, my living room space, my dining space, and I've got a cupboard under the stairs where just heaps of stuff is shoved in, lots of work stuff. So I'm gonna try and minimize everything, like clear out stuff, make sure everything's really organized so that like I'm not just doing a clear out and then getting it messy again, just like living minimally for life. I've also been recommended this documentary on Netflix that I'm gonna watch while I do it, like in the background, so I'm like getting more inspired, more tips. I think it's about an hour and a half long, and it's just all about the importance of minimalism, why we should go more minimal, and I think it's always good to kind of like read up, learn more. I'm sure I'll get heaps of tips from it as well. But first, I've got to make a smoothie because that is a great way to start the day. I'm always kind of maybe Monday to Thursday have smoothies in the morning. So I'll show you where I make it. It's over here. Excuse the mess, of course, it's going to be more minimal soon. So I've already put some protein powder in here. And then I'm gonna add some oat milk. And then I like to kind of put lots of like frozen vegetables and fruit in the freezer, and then I'll add them into the smoothie. I've got a notepad. I'm gonna kind of write down everything I want to do and check it off, because I think, I don't know, I'm someone that like loves a notepad, loves a kind of to-do list. So I think I'm gonna start with the kitchen, go through all the kitchen and just like be honest, and like any food that I've probably had, like some cans that I've not been eating, either, you know, make a mission to eat them, or at my local Sainsbury's you can go and donate food there. So any food that, you know, I haven't opened yet and I don't think I probably will, or I've got excess of it, I can just go drop it there, which I think is a good thing. Dining room area I think is reasonably minimal. I think one quite big thing is Shay's toys. You know, obviously minimalism has to come through like all your life, and Shay's definitely got a lot of toys, and also I feel like they need to be organised a bit better, and I need to be a bit better at disciplining him to put the toys back so that they're not a massive mess, which often they are. So here's my smoothie. I put in form protein powder, oat milk, flax seeds, frozen banana, frozen cauliflower, which is great if you're trying to boost your vegetables. I think frozen courgette and cauliflower are just such good ones because they're pretty tasteless. Like, you don't necessarily drink it and go, oh my god, I can taste cauliflower or courgette, but they're just fantastic for adding in. Not very expensive vegetables. You can get them quite a lot of, I mean, they're not necessarily always seasonal, but you can get them all year round, or you can buy them frozen already. And just such a great addition just to add like a little portion of vegetables into your smoothie, and also to make it really like cold. It's kind of like adding an ice, but like really nutritious ice. And the flax seeds give a bit of crunch, which makes me chew it, which basically activates my digestion, because a lot of the problem with smoothies and juices is we gulp them down. Chewing is the beginning process of digestion. You know, enzymes come into our mouths when we're chewing to break down the food. It tells our stomach to get ready, it tells our whole digestive system to get ready. So it's good to chew a smoothie when you're having it. So I just finished watching the documentary while starting on Shay's toys and going through some books and recipes and things like that, organising. It was such a good documentary, really inspiring, kind of followed these two guys who had written a book on minimalism. And it really did make me think a lot about how the fact that actually we're constantly told to be like buying a new lipstick, a new outfit, trying this new supplement, all to kind of make us happier. But once we've bought it, we don't necessarily feel that much better. Obviously, we do need to buy things, but we don't need to buy as much stuff as we do, and we need to always buy things with purpose rather than just because we think it will make us feel better at the end. And actually, the three things in life make us feel happier: connection with our friends, meditation, being in nature. Those are the things actually truly that make us happy. Buying a new lipstick, yes, for that moment, but if we've got 10 different shades of lipstick, it will just get thrown into a pile with the others, so really did make me think. I would really recommend watching it. It took me ages to go through. I had about 30 Waitrose magazines and I wanted to rip out all my favourite recipes from them so that I didn't have to store them all, and then I'll put all the recipes in a folder. So I feel like that took me so long to do, and I was kind of watching the documentary, so probably wasn't being that efficient with it. But I'm going to really smash out Shay's toys now. And my process of it is, what does he use? If he doesn't use it, I'll give it to charity, or I don't think he'll use it in the future. And I'm just trying to keep the really good toys, and organise them well. The wooden ones, the ones that help him learn, that bring him joy. I think there's a lot of the kind of like crappy plastic tiny figurines which get played with for a minute, 5 minutes, and then they get sick of them. Those are the ones that I don't want to buy any more of. And I just think that there is no need to have them in the house, so those are the ones that I'm clearing out. So I feel like this drawer is looking good, nice and organised, kind of clearly laid out. Each box and section's got it, so I need to work on this one here, which isn't terrible, but I feel like some of these could do with a little bit of organising, sorting through. I just got back from the gym. I think when you're like clearing out or you're going through minimising, it's so important to get out of the house and do some exercise. I think sometimes it can be quite overwhelming, especially if you've got a lot of stuff, and it can take so much longer than you ever thought it would. So it's good to like break it up, and make it fun. Put some music on, have your favourite TV show on in the background, as long as it doesn't distract you too much. Maybe music's best, or podcast, or YouTube. And I think make it enjoyable. Like get some really nice snacks, have some nice like food to look forward to between it, because otherwise you'll probably put it off and it will feel like a chore. So yeah, got back from the gym. I'm gonna have a quick shower. Not super sweaty. I mean, I did wash my hair this morning, so I've already greased it up a little bit, but I think I'll be fine. But have a quick like kind of body rinse and then get back to it. Right, I'm all showered, so now it's time to tackle the kitchen, especially the fridge. Now I need to have some lunch post-workout, as I always try and eat quite soon afterwards. But I thought I'll tackle the fridge first, make it really nice, and then make something out of it. So let's have a look at the fridge currently. As you can see, it's quite disorganised. Lots of healthy stuff going on, but kind of shoved in has been my technique, which is probably not the right technique to have. So I'm going to give it a little organise. This is like the fruit and veg section, so I'm going to try and keep that as much as like loose fruit and veg, and then maybe try and like organise some of the rest of the veg, maybe chop it up, put it in some glass containers here and here. Really sort out this condiments drawer, like do we use all of this, do we not? Put the most frequently used stuff here and here and here so that it's the most accessible. So I think I'm just going to try and get really organised and just think practically, how do I use this fridge and how can I use it in the most efficient way? I've just grabbed all the kind of leftover vegetables that need to be eaten more immediately, and I'm going to chop them up and make a really yummy salad. Hello, hello, how yummy does this look? I literally can't wait to dive in. So I'm about to start decluttering and minimising my kitchen, and this is probably the area that I've got a lot of stuff, mainly because it is a huge part of my job and my career is cooking and making recipes. So I know that I do need stuff, but not maybe as much stuff as I have, and I could definitely organise it better. So these are the kind of questions when you're minimising different areas of your house to ask yourself. The first one is, when did I last use this? And that is a very important one, because if you haven't used it for months, maybe years, do you really need it? The next question is to ask yourself is, how much value does this add to my life? Does it enrich my life? Do I enjoy using it? You know, really ask yourself that question. And then the next question to ask is, where does this stand in my priorities? Is this a big priority for me? For example, do I need a donut maker? Do I really make that many donuts? Maybe. The other question to ask yourself is like, what should I do with this? You know, should I keep it? Should I store it? Should I put it near the front, near the back? Because you really want to think about how you're accessing it as well. So it's good to be constantly really evaluating how much you really want, love, need these objects, because we probably think we need more things than we actually do. So I'm really pleased with this cupboard. I've made some salad dressings with some leftover oils and vinegars. And then I've put kind of oils at the back because I love different like avocado, sesame, olive, cob nut, different oils. Then I've got nut butters here, vinegars here, some like wakame stuff, then like what's it called, tins here, and honey. So this is not necessarily like the most organised. I'm sure I could do better with it, but I've definitely minimised it. I've gone through and really asked myself, what do I use it for? And then I had some unopened stuff here, which I'm going to give all to the collection box. So they're not open stuff. You can't kind of give away food that's already been opened, obviously for hygiene reasons. Now I'm about to start clearing out my supplement cupboard, and as you can see, there is a lot of rubbish. So it was all in this drawer, so I'm going to organise it now. I've now got to tackle this section, which is kind of like pans and pots. As you can see, everything's been shoved in. I'm just not quite sure, because I don't know where I'm going to find the space for everything, because I do really need a lot of this. I just need to make it a little bit more organised. Okay, it wasn't as hard as it seemed. So this is going to be frying pans, griddle pan, wok, cooling rack, and then down here is sort of like baking dishes, loaf tin, and then all kind of cake stuff. And then over here I've put all the trays, which is just much more easily accessible, because I can slide them out rather than constantly taking like 8 off to get to the bottom one. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm gonna sort out this one now. So I've got to go get Shay from nursery, so I'm gonna sign out from my minimalist day so far. I thought I would get a little bit more done, but I'm very proud of everything that I have done so far. And I just wanted to finish on a note for this video of my first minimal moment, I'll call it. So by accident I put my wallet in the washing machine and dryer, because it was in the pocket of my jeans. So anyway, it kind of got a bit bashed around, and a lot of the cards were ruined, which is fine. I cut them up and ordered some new ones. But the wallet is a little bit rough around the edges, but it's fine. And immediately my natural like sort of thought process would be like, okay, buy a new one, buy a nice new one, even better than the one I had before. But actually I looked at it and I was like, it's absolutely fine. It's a little bit sort of scrunchy from the dryer, so it's not looking as pristine as it did, but it still looks beautiful. It still works perfectly. It's still gorgeous, and I spent, you know, however much money it was at the time on it, and I'm going to keep it. And you know, that's what it's all about, not this constant like chucking away consumerist mindset, seeing what you have, utilizing it, you know, using it until the end, until the threads fall apart, and maybe getting it repaired before you even think about buying something new. And I feel very, very happy that I felt that way and that I decided to do that, and it feels like a completely different new mindset that I have trained myself for so long to kind of go into. And I know it will take time, you know, to change any habit, but I feel really positive about it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will be doing more kind of adventures on my minimalist life, and I would just love to hear from you, like if you've got any tips for me, like if there are any good videos that you love watching about it. Yeah, any feedback will be fantastic. Okay, bye.